or you could see what's happening. So during the first century, that we know that's the life, the death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, diba? Some say 30 AD, 33 AD, and whatnot. But that's during the first century. So during that time frame, the apostles lived, right? And the apostles would have discipled some other people. So during the first century, the latter part of the first century, and the beginning part of the second century, you will see these names come about. Actually, the Didache would be first there, because the Didache is supposedly the writings of the 12 apostles. So the Didache, that's during their time that they were alive. Okay? Then after the Didache, you will see Ignatius, the writing of Ignatius and Polycarp. Why are they so important? Because supposedly they were disciples of the Apostle John. Okay? And so then, afterwards, yes, Ignatius and Polycarp, we're going to take a look at some of their writings because they were martyred. And then si Polycarp, he would have in the next century, makikita natin sina Irenaeus, who would have been discipled by Polycarp. But all these in the first part of the apostles and the early church fathers, we see their writings. So there's something about their writing that if you really study them, and again, this is just a portion, if you read the book, you'll see a lot more of their writing. So let's first take a look at the Didache, again, also known as the teachings of the 12 apostles. It's one of the earliest extra-canonical writings. When we say extra-canonical para sa mga hindi pastor, it's outside the Bible. It's outside of what, the councils have approved to be really part of the Bible. May mga rules of faith sila na tinatawag para mapabilang sa Biblia. However, they didn't make the canon, but these are extra-canonical writings. The writings of the apostles. So the writings of, or the Didache is divided actually in a few sections. Okay? In which of yung section, may section, anong dapat conduct kayo? Anong dapat tinuturo? How should the presbyters or the pastors should conduct themselves and all that? May mga admonitions. Then the last section of that is devoted primarily to the coming of the Lord. Can you imagine that? There's a section in the Didache that is just for the coming of the Lord. And this is what you see, just a chapter of it in chapter 16. Watchfulness, the coming of the Lord. Sabi niya, watch for your life's sake. Let not your lamps be quenched, nor your loins unloosed. But ye be ready, for ye know not the hour in which our Lord cometh. Sounds familiar? Right? The writing, the words of Jesus and the writing of Paul. Yeah? And then, but often shall you come together, seeking the things which are befitting your souls, for the whole time of your faith will not profit you if ye be not made perfect in the last time. For in the last days false prophets and corrupters shall be multiplied, and the sheep shall be turned into wolves, and love shall be turned into hate. For when lawlessness increaseth, they shall hate and persecute and betray one another. And then shall appear the world deceiver, pointing to the Antichrist, as Son of God. So he's going to, remember the words of Daniel, and also in Revelation, he's going to sit himself, so that in the temple he wants to be worshipped and all that. And then he says, and shall do signs and wonders, and the earth shall be delivered into his hands, and he shall do iniquitous things which have never yet come to pass since the beginning. Why is this so important? It's because, di ba sabi rin ni Jesus, beware, be watchful, be prayerful, because in the last days, magkakaroon ng maraming false teachers. Beware, sabi rin ni Paul, lest you fall away. And we heard earlier that these are the signs. Kung hinihintay natin kung sino sa Antichrist, marami tayong mga opinion, maraming kung sino kaya siya, sino kaya yan. But we've been given the ultimate clues. Paul says, hey, the Lord's not going to come. This is what you should be looking for. There's going to be a falling away. Who's going to fall? The wicked world, the unbelievers, they're already fallen. Tama ba? The falling away is falling away from the faith. That's the apostasy. So Christians are going to apostatize, actually believing false doctrines.